Proposed trade idea solves Knicks center issues by acquiring Jalen Duren. The New York Knicks are looking to strengthen their roster for a championship push, and a recent trade proposal suggests they could fill their glaring hole at center by acquiring Jalen Duren from the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks, having made significant moves to become contenders, see this as an opportunity to secure a more reliable center rotation, potentially making them a more formidable force in the Eastern Conference. Knicks trade proposal for Jalen Duren. The proposed trade details are as follows. New York Knicks receive Jalen Duren. Detroit Pistons receive Miles McBride, 2025 first-round pick DT, 2025 second-round pick Biosam, 2026 second-round pick NYK, 2026 second-round pick GSW, 2027 second-round pick MN. This trade would see the Knicks giving up 4 second-round picks, a future first-round pick obligation to the Pistons, and the young guard Miles McBride. In return, they would get Jalen Duren, a promising young center who could immediately bolster their frontcourt depth alongside Mitchell Robinson. Why this trade makes sense for the Knicks? The Knicks are set on contending for a championship next season, with Jalen Brunson emerging as their number one option and Julius Randle and new acquisition Mikal Bridges forming a solid core around him. The Knicks need to ensure they have a stable rotation at the center position. The Knicks lost Isaiah Hartenstein, whose solid play was a key to their success last season, to a significant offer from the OKC Thunder. Although they still have Mitchell Robinson, his frequent injuries have caused reliability issues, leaving the team vulnerable in critical moments. Bringing in Jalen Duren provides a solution to this problem by adding a young, athletic center who can grow alongside their championship-caliber unit. Benefits of acquiring Jalen Duren: improved frontcourt depth. Duren averaged 13.8 points, 11.6 rebounds, and 2.4 assists last season with the Pistons. His ability as a traditional rim-protecting and rebounding center fits the Knicks' needs, especially considering Robinson's injury history. The Knicks would then have the flexibility to manage both Duren and Robinson's minutes to avoid wear and tear. Long-term stability. By acquiring Duren, the Knicks ensure they have a reliable young center to build around for the future. If Robinson continues to struggle with injuries, Duren could become the starting center and offer stability in a conference stacked with talented big men like Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kristaps Porzingis. Championship aspirations. With Jalen Duren anchoring the center position, the Knicks could improve their defensive prowess and have a more balanced offensive attack. His developing passing skills could also be an asset in a more advanced offensive system. This move would solidify the Knicks' status as a legitimate contender in the East. Risk factors for the Knicks. Loss of draft capital. The Knicks would be sacrificing a significant portion of their remaining draft assets, including a first-round pick and multiple second-round picks. If Duren doesn't fit well or fails to develop as expected, this trade could become a costly misstep for the franchise. Parting with Miles McBride. McBride played a notable role for the Knicks last season, particularly as a floor spacer and versatile defender. Losing him means the Knicks are betting heavily on Cameron Payne to fill that guard depth role, which could be risky if injuries or performance issues arise. Why the Pistons would consider this trade. The Detroit Pistons are in the midst of a rebuild and have struggled to find a coherent identity on the court. With a roster filled with young, developing talents like Cade Cunningham, Ausar Thompson, and Ron Holland, the Pistons have too many non-shooters that could create spacing issues. Streamlining their core. Moving Duren would allow the Pistons to avoid a logjam of developing players who are all non-shooters. Instead, they could focus on developing Thompson and Holland alongside Cunningham. Adding a versatile guard like McBride, who shot 41% from 3 last season, would give them better spacing and a potential trade asset for future deals. Accumulating future assets. By acquiring multiple second-round picks and lifting the obligation on their 2025 first-round pick, the Pistons would be well-positioned to continue building for the future. This move would keep them in the race for a high pick in the 2025 NBA draft, where they could target a more versatile big man or another piece that better fits their vision. Clearing space for future moves. With the Pistons already committed to a youth movement, moving off Duren would make it easier for them to find a compatible center who can complement their young core. This could either come via trade or by targeting prospects in future drafts, such as Cooper Flagg. Conclusion: a win-win trade for both teams? For the Knicks, acquiring Jalen Duren would be a bold move to address their immediate needs and push for a title. His ability to provide elite rim protection and rebounding could be a game-changer in the playoffs. However, they must be sure Duren fits into their long-term plans, as giving up multiple picks and a key young player like McBride comes with risks. For the Pistons, this trade allows them to simplify their roster and build around a more cohesive core, while also acquiring assets for the future. Duren's potential departure could help them tank for a high pick in the 2025 draft and find a more fitting big man to anchor their team. Knicks and Pistons fans, what are your thoughts on this proposed trade? Would this be a smart move for both franchises?